Hey guys, what is going on? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, here with another video. Hoping everybody is having a great day. Thanks for stopping by, checking out the videos, and supporting the channel. If you didn't see my last video, it is the last two videos actually, since I've been doing a couple videos a day. I put up my most anticipated games for 2017, and also a little kind of review video for Blast Brawl 2, which is kind of an indie game that came out a couple months ago. I've been trying to put out more content every day, sometimes 2 videos, and you know, I usually do like a video of a game, recent indie game I played. So if you guys want to check out those 2 videos, that'd be great. Keep in mind that tomorrow I'll be posting my Game of the Year, my top 10 video for 2016, so keep that in mind. This video is going to be about looking back on 2016 as a whole, you know, what Xbox did, and all the Xbox community, and you know, me personally, it was a big year for me as well. So let's talk about Xbox. You know, and when you think of Xbox, I think of games. So let's look back on did Xbox deliver the gaming goods this year? And I think I had a great year with their games. I think 3 of their games lived up to their potential, and 1 was kind of held back a little bit. And you know, I'll go in order. Like Quantum Break, I greatly enjoyed Quantum Break. I thought it was fantastic. The time travel story, the time manipulation powers really spoke to me. You might even see it in my top 10 next tomorrow, so you never know. You gotta tune in for that. I thought Forza Horizon 3 is the best racing game ever made, period. Gears of War 4 was a great addition to the series. I thought ReCore was a fine building block. It had a lot of issues, but hopefully it gets overcome. You know, they overcome it with the sequel. The problem is that after Quantum Break came out in April, it was dry for the most part, exclusive wise, for the rest of the year, basically until September when ReCore stuff comes out. Hopefully that's alleviated next year, and it seems like it, the way they have 2017 situated with Halo Wars in February, and I think Scalebound will be out sometime in April, May, and then I think Sea of Thieves will be out sometime in like August, and State of Decay 2 will be in September, and Forza September. I think their schedule is going to be more packed next year, so hopefully they kind of address the issue of like, here's one game during the first 5 months and then basically nothing to the end of the year. I don't particularly care for that, but for me, you know, it's never dry because I have 600 plus games on my Xbox One. I always have something to play, so I thought Xbox did well. I mean, I greatly enjoyed, you know, 3 of the 4 games. I thought they delivered well on that. And you know, if you look back to the press conference of E3, I thought it was their best one in quite some time. You know, when they unveiled the Xbox One S, and then at the end of the show they talked about Scorpio, because that was the big news thing this year, right? Everybody's talking about Scorpio, and it was kind of a bold strategy to unveil, you know, an Xbox One Slim, which it desperately needed. Like, the Xbox One needed a slim variant, one that they could produce cheaper, one that they could make better, and that's exactly what the Xbox One S is a better version, a way better version of the original Xbox One. And nobody should be surprised that it's selling like, you know, hotcakes. I mean, it's not selling as good as the PS4, but it's selling damn well, and it's because the Xbox One S is a great product and even offers things that its competitor doesn't offer right now, and that's the Blu-ray drive. Seems a lot of people want that, but what dominated the gaming headlines pretty much since E3, and even before that when it leaked, was Scorpio. Now, this idea that, you know, Microsoft was going to make the, you know, the biggest, you know, most powerful console ever, even more powerful than the Pro, which, you know, was Sony's kind of like mid-gen upgrade. And, you know, I have my own problems with the Scorpio. I've talked about on the podcast before and things like that, and maybe I'll even make a video about it. I am excited for it, because I'm excited for a lot of what Microsoft does. But the whole power thing, I think, is a little overblown in my opinion. But I'll probably talk about that in another video. But what else? I mean, the Xbox Play Anywhere program that they're doing now, I think, is a great value add, and a good consumer move. The idea that, hey, you could buy a game on your Xbox One, get the same version on Windows 10 or vice versa and have that copy with you wherever you go. I think that's a fantastic thing. It doesn't really do anything for me, but it sure could do a lot for other people, so I think that's cool. Same thing with backwards compatibility. Backwards compatibility kind of came in its own this year too. A lot of like high profile games were given out, or not given out. Well, I mean, they did get out Lost Odyssey, which is a high profile game. They finally got that in the store, but like Red Dead Redemption 2 came, and a couple of the higher S4 Call of Duties and Mass Effect, a couple like Mass Effect 2 and 3. So backwards compatibility is hitting its stride. I think I read something like 20% of the library is already there, and they could have 50% up within like a year or two. I think that's a great value. It again doesn't do anything for me because I played every 360 game that I ever wanted to play, so it doesn't do anything for me. But it's great for people that want it, that missed out on some 360 games. I think that's a great addition to the console. So yeah, I mean, I think Xbox had a pretty damn good year, and 2017 is going to be posed to be better. I hear all the talk about the UWP and stuff like that, and I always kind of roll my eyes with the UWP because I'm not much of a tech guy, and it's just like UWP this, UWP that, but whatever. What they're doing on the Xbox Live side is great too. They upped the parties to 16. I think that was this year. They added clubs and LFG. LFG is something that I think a lot of people are going to use, to meet new people and, game with people that have similar tastes and things like that. Clubs are kind of cool too. It's a way to people, to get together, have the similar tastes and stuff. So, I mean, they're making Xbox Live better, which is always cool to see. But, for me personally, it was a great year. I mean, we started off TXR Podcast, which link is in the description, by the way, if you guys want to check it out. I met some great guys and people I can call personal friends, like Tim Dog, Southbound, Maka 91, Inferno, Doc Cupcake, and even, when they were with us, Jeremy Downer and Worry Ward. I really enjoy doing the podcast on Mondays. I love, interacting with the fans and hearing how much they enjoy it. Like hearing you guys say like, oh, Rand, we love the show and we look forward to it. Everybody's great. And it's nice to see TXR grow and grow and grow every month. All the guests that we've had on there, like Aaron Greenberg and Victor Lucas and Ryan McCaffrey, David Jaffe. We've had a ton of guests, and we're trying to line up some big guests too for the next year. It's all about growing. I love doing that show. Everybody on the show is great, and they're like, real life friends. And that's what the Xbox community is. I've met a lot of great people in the Xbox community because, a lot of people people knew who I was in the achievement community. Because that's what I did, because I had a podcast called the Gamerscore Podcast, was down 83, so a lot of the people in the achievement community knew who I was, but not a lot of people in the Xbox community knew who I was or what I stood for, and it was nice to see everybody accept me so fast and so quickly, and eventually I got on Mooch's show, and from there I got on Crap's show, and I really did enjoy doing both Crossfire and Xbox Nation for a long time. It's just that, time is limited these days with school and things, and I don't have the time like I used to be able to devote the 2 hours per show each on Wednesday and Friday. But I wanted to thank Crap and Mooch for letting me come on their show and being the one who takes the opposite stance, I guess, from them all the time. It was fun, and I appreciate them letting me be the downer of the group on their podcasts. And I mean, there's so many podcasts now with so many great people, GKB and She-Wolf and Brutal and everybody over at Console Corner. They've always been big supporters of what I do. I've been on that show a bunch. I've been on the next podcast with Xbot and K Mega and the Don and Mel. It was a lot of fun doing that show. I like watching that show. Sometimes, most of the time when I watch the community podcasts, I don't really say anything. I just watch. I don't want to be like a detriment, because usually if I say something in chat, people I want the focus to be on the people in the podcast, not necessarily on me. So I usually watch, and I like how they show the gameplay and things like that. It's really, really, really cool. And same thing, like I remember getting when PTK first invited me to the podcast, his first one. I love doing that, man. When he would invite me to do the shop podcast every Saturday, and he used to be able to keep those shows under an hour. It was great. Inferno then invited me on 4 Guys with Quarters, and that's how, like, you know, I started doing those podcasts, and one led to another. It was on Basement Radio Arcade and Super Deformed Gamecast, and you meet a lot of cool people. You meet more people on Twitter, and there's a bunch of great Xbox community guys on Twitter. I can't even really think. You know, I'd be doing a disservice if I only name a few, but there is one guy I want to give a big shout out to, the guy who's always had my back, who's a true friend, and that's Beastfire Tim Dog. You're the man, Tim. You've had my back since day one. You've been the one telling me that I needed to do this, that I should start my own channel up, and you've supported everything I've ever done. So this, you know, shout out goes to you, man. Like, you are a excellent person and a great friend, and thank you for always having my back. You know, you push me that I do. You know, you said, no, you can do this, you know, blah blah blah, because I always had doubts in myself about whether people would care and things like that, but Tim was always, no, Rand, like, do this because it's gonna be good and people are gonna care about it. And you know, it's nice to see, like, Tim's a true friend, and I appreciate his input. And then, you know, for me, 2016, you know, it's I got to go to E3. You know, I got to hit 1 million gamer score on stage with Phil, with Mike Ibarra and Major Nelson. I have a picture of that pinned on my Twitter. It was an amazing experience. Number one, like, going to E3, you know, like, that was like a dream come true. To be invited by Microsoft, you know, not only to be invited to go, but then to actually be a part of, you know, the show, essentially, like, being told, like, hey, we want you up there. You know, Phil telling me that he values me, you know, and that, like, he really, really wants me to, you know, celebrate. He wanted to celebrate my achievement, you know, on stage with him. Like, you know, it was not only important to me, but it was important to him. And then having Mike Ibarra back me up on it and wanting to do it, it was just so special to be able to just kind of see behind, you know, behind the curtain for E3, and have everybody kind of, like, you know, treat this, I'm not gonna say mundane, but like nerdy, maybe? I don't even know the right word. I mean, I play games, and I play a lot of games. Some of them really terrible and some of them are really great, and I get points for it. But like, when I did that on stage at E3, everybody was just so happy for me, you know, and like, after it was done, people were coming up and congratulating me. I felt like, you know, it was like one of the best, you know, moments of my life. Maybe that sounds lame, but, you know, I felt like I had accomplished something that people had cared about, and it was such a great experience. So, you know, here I am, you know, trying to build a YouTube channel, like trying to shine some spotlight on some of these smaller indie games that nobody else really wants to talk about, or, you know, have opinion pieces that may be against the norm or whatever, you know, whatever, you know, comes to my mind, because a lot of people out there have told me, like, you know, in Maka said, start the YouTube channel. Tim's always had my back from day one, told me to do this. Crap, Mooch, they all told me to do this. You know, Inferno, everybody, they all told me to do this, and I'm finally doing it. And I actually like making videos. I like doing it. It's because I like talking. You guys know this. Listen to me ramble. I'm kind of even getting like a little emotional just talking about how cool E3 was. You know, meeting everybody, you know, hanging out with the TXR crew, having people I don't even know come up to me at E3 and like want to shake my hand because, you know, I'm on a podcast and they look up to me and they value my opinion. That means a lot to me. So hopefully, you know, I can live up to that. I don't know how 2017 could be any better than 2016. Obviously, I won't have the million anymore, and I don't think I'll get the 2 because that seems like way far ways. But man, what a year. What not only a year for Xbox, and not only a year, you know, for a lot of the great people in the Xbox community, like building their own podcasts. And there are so many out there. I mean, you got Crossfire, you got TXR, you got Xbox Nation, Console Corner, the Next podcast. You got, you know, Four Guys with Quarters. You got Tix podcast. You got Multiverse. You know, there are so many different podcasts, anybody, and with different opinions every single day that people can listen to. It's kind of amazing to see things grow and things like that. So hopefully 2017 is just as good. You know, thank you guys for listening to me ramble in this video. You know, as I always say, if you like the video, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing for more content because it will be coming. I'll have a review for the Little Acre up tomorrow, as well as my 2016 Game of the Year. So yeah, so thanks guys. I'll see everybody tomorrow.